crash, 100 yard dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to... The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Go! 70, Indy.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Fancy footwork in midfield. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Let's get this.
Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Looking to throw. Bowman. And he's going to go down again.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Switch.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. They find some open field here. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 85 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
60 outlaw.
On third down, Swift. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can't get past me.
They'll drop to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A first down carry for Barkley. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. 2nd and 9 now. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Bowman. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Back to throw. Bowman. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Ready? 50, plant.
Number 53. Hey, here we go.
Throwing on third and long. Bowman throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Barkley on first down, running into a wall as he stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And to give this time to the tailback, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Looking to throw. Bowman. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Bowman.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look fearless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Back to throw.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively.
It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. With touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
I got you.
Hey, exit. Snap.
They're going to look to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep left side, and he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Down.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On second down, here's Barkley. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On play action, they'll throw. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kendall Beckwith gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also fourth down now.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And this is, unfortunately for him, a montage he's probably not going to want to keep here for his files.
And I'm not so sure that he would describe it as a...
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now the second down throw on target. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And this is caught by Watkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me.
And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just put their ears back and get after him now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Hey, foxtrot, say go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Yikes. Really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Second and 14. Throwing right, and that's complete. A gain there of 21 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking to throw. Bowman. And an alley to run. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them. From the 2 now, second and goal. 2nd and 2. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. And the interception the last time, their 3rd takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ballgame.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 deep.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield. And they'll say actually right at midfield. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley, 50 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases. And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Bowman. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Check down.
Throwing on first down. Bowman. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bowman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Back to throw. Bowman. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
General West,
On 1st down, Bowman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Bowman. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 1st and 10, Bowman. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Looking to throw. Bowman. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. He had 3 of those sacks last week en route to being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week 1 right there. How do you block him now?
That's the question you think that they'd be able to answer. After having 3 the week before, you would make all the necessary adjustments in practice, but he's such an imposing force, he knows how to get to the quarterback anyway.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. To the right side here, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Another try for Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Steelers, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get to stay home again next